It's 2025. We got to talk about this. When it comes to gaming, it's coming to a point where a lot of these companies, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, it doesn't matter what company it is, even AAA gaming titles are starting to outprice people coming into the space. And by that I mean the increased cost of the PlayStation, the increased cost of the original Nintendo, and the original Nintendo Switch, and the increased cost of games. This is something that we need to talk about, you guys. So let's talk about it. Right here is an article from IGN. Sony announces PlayStation 5 rises for US. $50 increase to go live tomorrow. And it's kind of crazy how fast this comes out, and there was really no like build up to it. Hey, next month we're going to increase the cost. No, they're like, we're doing it tomorrow. Sony has announced a $50 price rise for the PlayStation 5 digital standard and the Pro, and it will go into effect in the US tomorrow, August 21st. The base PlayStation 5 with a disk drive will rise in cost to $549.99, while the digital will similarly cost $50 more at $500, while the price PlayStation Pro will be $749. And I find this interesting, and I only say that because for the last couple console generations, we've gotten a mid-generation refresh, shall we say. And for this one, Sony kind of did it with the PlayStation 5 Pro, but it was a very niche market that the $700 for the PlayStation 5 Pro until tomorrow, $749. That it really did that. Where the Xbox didn't do it this generation. Why? Because the console wars is over, and Microsoft's probably out of the console making game. Anyways, here's an announcement. Here's what they stated. This is Sony. Similar to many global businesses, we can continue to navigate a challenging economic environment, said Isabel, Sony Interactive Entertainment's Vice President of Global Marketing. In a short statement shared today, as a result, we've made the difficult decision to increase the recommended retail price of PlayStation 5 consoles in the US starting August 21st. And right here, so this is where the article kind of loses me, right? The price rises comes amid a turbulent time for the global market due to US tariffs. I'm not going to get political here, but right here it says Sony previously raised the price of the PS5's price in the UK and mainland Europe, Australia, and New Zealand earlier this year. Well, why? You can't tell me you're raising the price due to tariffs up here in the US, but down here you're saying that they're raising the price in all these other countries, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, so on and so forth. And tell me that they're like, why did you increase the price? And the only reason why I can really point at it is due to the fact that Sony is a publicly traded company. I know somebody over here was saying, because this is the article talking about Nintendo announcing the U.S. price rise for the original Switch, warns prices for the Nintendo Switch games, and the Nintendo Switch Online membership may be necessary in the future. And I made an a video talking about that as well. And somebody's like, well, Nintendo and Japan are sick and tired of being jerked around. Well, if that's the case, well, why is Sony raising the prices in these other countries? And it all comes down to, hey, year in, year out, you got to show a positive. You can't show any negative, and you have to have X amount of dollars over the previous year to have a successful year. And that's all it comes down to. Regardless of whether it's tariffs or not, why would you raise the price of a console that came out 7 fucking years ago? But over here, you're raising the price of a console that came out 5 years ago, and then the next iteration of this console, the PlayStation 6, is about 2 years out. You're going to price people out of it. On top of that, not even to mention that the cost of games, perfect example right here, it says Microsoft is just the first to announce higher game prices, and it likely won't be the last. Tariffs aren't the reason why your games will soon cost you more. This is a fucking article by CNET, right? And it says right here, Microsoft announced this week that the Xbox games and consoles will soon cost more, bringing game prices from $70 to $80. And mind you, the price bump from 60 to 70 only happened 2 years ago. and they're about to raise it again. Nintendo announced the Nintendo Switch 2 release date back in April and released some of its games will be priced at $80. And I don't mind if you're putting out a quality product that isn't the same copy and paste bullshit. Here's, we're going to put a new skin on this and we're going to put a little bow on it and call it fucking Call of Duty Black Ops 7. And we're going to put it out there and it's the same copy and paste bullshit. It really is. And at the end of the day, I really don't think it comes down to tariffs. I mean, right here it says earlier today, Microsoft raised eyebrows by declining to announce a price point for the ROG Ally X, which is the Xbox handheld made by Asus, right? Alongside with its release date. And I think genuinely, I know down here it says, Asus says it needs more time to navigate the current macroeconomic factors involved in deciding gaming handheld's price point. All seriousness, I'm not going to say it's the price point. I think it's because it's still 2 years out from even fucking coming out. It got leaked. That's ultimately why I think Microsoft was like, hey, Asus, just go ahead, announce the Asus ROG, what the hell is the damn name of this? Asus ROG Xbox Ally X, and we'll figure it out as we go. On top of that, you also have to really point out that this was a very eyebrow-raising time for them to release this information of the PlayStation 5 getting a price bump for no goddamn reason. And it says here, Sony's specific timing today is also interesting, coming during the ever-busy Gamescom week news cycle. They did that so that people don't know that the price got bumped. If you ask me, that's a smart idea. Like, hey, we're going to bump up the price, but we're going to do it during, Gamescom, when people are busy looking at the new shiny stuff that's going to be coming out this fall, next year, and the year after. But we're just going to announce it and hope that nobody goes around seeing it. I mean, is there any... There's a couple things here. It says, is this the winning people thought an old man... Yeah, no. It's like I said, I don't want to get in politics, but the thing of it is, I legit don't think it is the politics, considering that they raised the price in multiple other countries at the beginning of the year, and then to raise the price again here in America during Gamescom, it just doesn't sit right with me. And like I said, the other thing that doesn't sit right with me is due to the fact that a lot of these game prices are going up when it's just a copy and paste from the year before. And then game companies also wonder why we play older games. It's because they don't make good games anymore. They do not make good games. Now, I had fun with Call of Duty Black Ops 6 when it first came out. I'll admit that. But the thing of it is like, as the time went on over the month, 2, 3, 4 months that it was out, I started running into cheaters. And, it just goes into what Gabe Newell said, which right here, we're talking about Gabe Newell when it comes to games. Gabe cuts to the chase with this, with his possible... Anyways, late is just for a little while. Suck is forever, he said. We could try to force this thing out the door, but that's not the company we want to be. That's not the people we want to be. That's not the relationship we want to have with our customers. In my honest opinion, right? This is game companies getting greedy. We're coming up to it, I think it was 1982. There was a little game called E.T. that came out that was just dog shit. And it caused the complete collapse of the gaming market, right? And I think, all seriousness, we're on the verge of another collapse of the gaming market. People aren't going to be buying these big, shiny games. I know a lot of game companies out there, because of 2020, 2021, there was a massive boom when it came to gaming, right? A massive boom when it came to streaming. And we are, 2-3 years, I think 3 years realistically removed from that scenario, right? And everything is starting to course correct itself. So a lot of these game service and blah blah blah, they're just kind of falling to the wayside because people are like, "Yo, I don't have time to play that. I got to go back to work. I need to go back to the office." On top of that, like I said, these companies had that massive influx of cash coming in 2020 and 2021, and now everything's coming crashing back down, and they're like, "Shit, we need to show profit year in year out." And we need to show, X amount of margins. And I think that's why a lot of this stuff's happening. I don't think it's the tariffs. I think a lot of it is they need to show their year in, year out increase on profitability. And if they don't, their shareholders get worried. And what happens when shareholders get worried? You end up like, was it Ubisoft? You end up like, those other companies out there that were like top of the top. They play it safe. They peddle garbage. And remember, late is just for a little while and suck is forever. But nowadays, you can just patch a game until it fucking works. Looking at you, Cyberpunk 2077. Looking at you, No Man's Sky. Just my food for thought. I know there's going to be people down in the comment section that are like, no, it's because of tariffs. It's because of this. It's because of that. I want you to explain to me why it increased in price in those other countries before it increased here. Let me hear it. Anyways, you guys, y'all take it easy. Have a great, wonderful day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye!